What's up? This is your boy Lucky Loco doing a little lunch break over here at work and working the 9 to 5 and doing the food truck when we can. But anyways, this is a little something. If you're in a relationship and you just so happen to have a kid and you're with the woman still, you're still with the baby mama, or the love of your life, man, make sure you get that correct and straight from the beginning, man. You just never know. Mood swings and changes and people switch up on you like that. And guess what they're going to use right away as soon as it's over like that? They're going to try taking away the parental rights and all this other fun stuff that you have. You're used to waking up to your kids every day, your child, taking care of your child from born till whatever. Make sure you get that established well in the relationship. Hey, I'm going to go file 50-50 custody. Just to, if you want to be a little bit discreet about it, be like, hey, just in case something happens to you, if something happens while you're on the work, because stuff does happen. People do get injured. People do lose stuff. Go out there and start filing for your rights right now. And just even if it does end like that, it's not the 1950s no more. You can't go in there and make false claims and accusations and all this other stuff to try to get rid of you as a loving, caring parent for your kids, because it will change like that. And that's how it is, and that's how it is for your boy Lucky Loco. You guys see me go on this channel. I was always with my family. I was always taking care of business, and false claims and restraining orders get put in place, and just like that, I didn't get to see my son for like 30 days, didn't know where he was at. And it's legal for them to do that. It's legal for them to up and leave. Or if your partner's unhappy and they go and switch it up like that, they are going to use it. Just depending on the person in the situation, they're going to go ahead and try to take away that right. And it wasn't to the benefit of the child. It was a benefit to hurt your boy Lucky Loco, because who was always with me in the lives? Who was always with me in the food trucks? Who was always with me doing stuff? Yeah. I got temporary full custody of them, and then we're about to go get full custody of them too, because things like that change like that, and you're gonna have to be prepared for stuff like that, because it's a tricky situation that you can get caught up in. I see a lot of men going through it, and there's horrible stories of people not seeing their kids over being demonized in court. Anything, and they document everything. Make sure if there's situations to where you document the bad situation, be like, man, there's something not right. So what I suggest for any of the fathers, for the parents, for anybody that's going through it, and if the person really is a POS that's going upside the partner's head, or the ladies doing that to the men, we all have rights as human beings not to be treated and disrespected, and be able to have your parental rights have in court. Make sure you have that documentation. Make sure you have everything ready to go, because me as a loving, caring father, I'm always going to do it for the benefit of my child and the safety and protection of him, because that's all that matters at the end of the day. The work area has been used and weaponized, and slandering, which is really building up all this stuff, because subpoenas is going out. Detectives are going to be talking to my son. There's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scene with this open case, which I really don't want to get into, but it's definitely something that you have to be prepared for. It's a scary situation. I wanted to say prayers to all the men, all the women that are going through it, through all the parents. Yeah, it doesn't matter if we now fell out of love or disliked each other. A child should never ever be weaponized to use in a court of law and to hurt the parent, the loving, caring parent like myself, or anybody else that's out there that's a great dad. Make sure you get, at least get it all taken care of. If they're willing to go co-parenting, man, and the child's not in harm with the mom, that's a blessing. That's a beautiful blessing. On my end, my child was in danger, and then when he got dropped off and put into, when the cops went and got him, because that family is really unstable. The father already pulled a gun on me, a convicted felon, pulled a gun on me in the beginning when Junior was only like about maybe 3 weeks old. But hey, people don't want to remember that type of stuff, to where the grandpa came home and tried fighting me with the 4 month, he was like a month old maybe, while I was holding him. coming in the room and trying to fight me. I mean, that type of stuff needs to be documented. The police came and everything. So all this crazy stuff that goes on, man, just remember you have rights as a parent. This ain't the 1950s anymore to where you can just go throw false restraining orders and have your parental rights completely taken from you. No, you have rights, and it's all in the court of law. And there's case laws out there, man. So I suggest you to go do your due diligence as a parent and go fight for them custody. It costs a little bit of money, but sometimes even have indigent situations too, where they can come help you as a parent, as a loving, caring parent, to go fight in a court of law, because you do have rights, and you do have rights as a parent. Everything that I'm doing is just for the benefit of the child. I don't want to hurt the baby's mom. I want her to be a part of the life. But, these restraining orders and all this other stuff, I'm trying to get lifted so we can have communication, co-parent. Be a good parent, sometimes it's prideful for the person, or maybe even embarrassing for the other parent to be like, hey, man, why do I got to go for supervised visitations? It's because my son came with one set of clothes and a stab mark on his face. Does that seem like a safe situation, or any situation to where the child is being abused and neglected, and try to cover it up in court? That is not right. They even went so far as to saying the kid isn't mine. I've been cheating on him from the get-go. Travis Jr. is not Travis's kid. So that, they go any which way but loose, and will attack you in court for anything and everything. So you sneeze too hard, oh, that scared me. I'm super scared of him because of the demeanor he walks around with. No, the demeanor I walk around with is traumatization of child abuse, of being in prison, of being an ex-gang member, of being shot up, living through life and death situations, man. PTSD, no joke. Mental illness, like even that type of stuff gets brought up in court. It's just like, damn. The deepest, darkest secrets, you share with people, they'll use it to weaponize against you in court. So just be careful who you lay with and who you have kids with, because in situations to where you're going to get done dirty, your father's rights matter. And if you guys want to hear more about rights and stuff, man, I'll try to help you the best I can. I'm learning as I go too. I'm not one of the baby daddies that don't want to be in their kid's life. I want to be in my child's life, and I want my son to be able to co-parent and have his mom and dad, even though the mom and dad fell out of love and don't love each other no more. I'm not here to bash her. I'm not here to do anything about that. But I just want my child to be safe, like any other parent or even a stranger that hears the story of what my child went through and sympathizes with that. And that's something that you have to deal with, and something that you have to get along with, man, because, man, it's tricky out here. It's just be careful of the situations, man. If you have in that situation to where you guys are together, make sure you do get your 50-50 parental rights, because they can, up and leave without your kid, and waking up every day for almost 9 years with a family and not waking up to him is traumatizing, man. I don't care what anybody says. It broke my heart into pieces, but here I am picking him up, getting the help I need. My son's going through therapy. My son's cries, nightmares of being struck, being hit over a Roblox game. He almost lost his eye in his life over a Roblox game. His brother said that, hey, he's gonna get my son right in his face, and it's not a good look, man. And didn't report it while you're under CPS investigation. So just know that your boy Lucky Loco is going through it, and I need the prayers I can get. And I do appreciate it, because some of you do inbox me and tell me, hey, man, I support you. And that's something that goes a long way, man. I want to say shout out to everybody that's been following me, and to the people that want to like and subscribe and get more involved in stuff like that, man, because I am going through it. And, it's supposed to be something between me and her, but now it's at a place to where it's weaponized against me. I've never been arrested for domestic violence or anything like that, and to be called all this stuff, and it's a weird situation to be in court. And it's for anybody that's going through it, man, much love and respect, and keep up that fight for your children, man, because nothing's worse than waking up and not knowing where your kid is or how your kid's doing. And then if she gets involved with somebody else, and that person is able to see your kid more than your own self, and you've been there from the get, and It's really, really strange situation, and it's the system is not just for the women anymore. The men have rights. The men have equal rights, and as you can see, even with all those false accusations of never being arrested for anything like that, you are able to get your custody, your parental rights, because nothing's worse than waking up and not seeing your kid, not knowing where your kid is, being blocked on social media, being, just weaponized. Had to work a whole different shift from 2 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. And that was used against me in court too. It was like, man, he's an unfit dad because he works, he works too much. He does a food truck, he does this, he does that. And all that stuff goes against you, and it's a weird situation, man. If you guys want to do some interviews about it, man, because I know we got some fathers, single mothers, and everything like that, man. If you guys want, let's chop it up. Let's get into it. If you guys want to get an interview going, let me know. Still for the business, still for the child, and I wish nothing but the best for her. Things ended. Be mature and be able to move accordingly for the best interest of the child. And that's not what's going on the other half of the story. So, Junior's at home, he's fed, he goes to school, he's been making it to school. The hardest situations is the financial stuff of being able to provide. But hey, I got a hustle, I got a 9 to 5, I got benefits, I got friends that carry me along the way, the people that support me along the way, even the prayers. I mean, it's nice to be able to have financial gains and stuff like that, but it's the prayers, it's a positivity that you have to have in these horrible situations of going through court and going through battles, man. So got court coming up, and Travis Jr. is going to be with me, and I want him to be able to have visitations with his mom, just not with the brother present, because the brother is very violent towards Junior. The sister's very violent towards Junior, and these are not children his age, his size, the age groups, the weight class, and and a lot of this has really stirred up some feathers, man, because I've been getting death threats, I've been getting all kinds of stuff. But usually when somebody messages you and says they're going to do something, 10 times out of 9 they're not going to do it. I don't want any problems with nobody. I'm just going to stay here, stick up, and be there for my child, man. I appreciate you guys. Much love and respect. Comment and let me know if you agree or disagree of what the situation is going to be. I like to hear the feedback, man. Doksha. Appreciate you guys.